Well, I mean, I would like to have gotten in the first time. So I don't have any objection to succeeding quickly. But right, I'm willing to be persistent, but the other side of that is it isn't 14 years of waiting around to be an astronaut. It's 14 years of doing things that you're excited about, doing things that help you grow and develop and learn and progress along the way. So it's really true that, you know, the journey is a good one. It's I loved being an engineer, and I loved being a physician, and putting those two things together on a daily basis was very rewarding. It's true that I also had this long-term goal of getting to fly in space. But even if that dream had not come true, I loved what I was doing. And the big point is that I knew that I would never give up until I'd done every single thing I could do to make that dream come true. It's easy to sort of think about big ideas. It's easy to think about how great it would be if I made a robot that could wash the dishes and fold the clothes and make the bed and be a butler and answer the door. And I could probably get right down on paper and sketch out and make that work at about 80%. But the fact is that when you actually sit down and try to build that robot, we're not even close. Where do you begin? And it's so overwhelming to try to build such a thing that there's a tendency to just, when you're confronted with the reality of it, to sort of give up and go move on to some other big idea. I would say, you know what, instead of that, let's take the inside-the-box robot that exists and let's make him do one more thing that he can't do along the way to become, you know, this big, grand idea, right? So my robot, the first thing that it does that was outside the box is it answers my door. So that's just got it to the point where it could go to the door, get the door open, and be a presence at the door. And then the next thing it does is it greets the delivery man at the door, right? And then the next thing it does is it pays money to the pizza man at the door, and then notices if the change is right, okay? And by doing these things incrementally, instead of trying to do the big thing all at once, it actually works. But think of this application. Suppose I know I'm going to come to Brazil, and I enroll in a class in Portuguese. But if I have a telepresence robot that's here in Sao Paulo, that I can drive up and down the street and talk to people in the city in Portuguese, and go, you know, maybe I'm in high school and I'm taking that class, and I have a pen pal or a friend in Brazil who will take my robot to meet his friends, right? And talk in Portuguese to people who live in Sao Paulo. Now that's an application of telepresence robots. But it's the start. And in a year, I'm going to have a telepresence robot that isn't just Skype on wheels. I'm going to add sensors to it. Things like an infrared camera so that I can look at the blood flow in your face. A zoom camera so I can watch your pupils dilate and contract. I'll be able to measure your respiratory rate. I'll be able to measure your heart rate. I'll be able to see microperspiration on your scalp. I'll be able to watch your facial expressions change frame to frame. I'm going to know if you're bored. I'm going to know if you're stressed. I might even know if you're lying to me. So I'm going to send my robot to play poker with my friends.